Hello everyone and welcome back to Goon cracking yet another challenge fight. This time it is Bakara Kala, at least I hope that's how you say it. If you're new around here, make sure you hit the subscribe button and of course leave the video with a like. So we'll go through the setup and the key things to note from this boss challenge fight. So for the setup you're going to want Arch Paladin, that is pretty essential. Legion Revenant, Stone Crusher and Lord of Order are the other classes I have been using in this particular setup, and yes, I have done this more than once, so I assure you it does work. Okay, so let us talk about the fight details. The boss can deal over 10k damage over time, which is why Arch Paladin is so essential to counter that. There are of course going to be other classes we can swap out, but as of the minute I would stick with Arch. You want the support classes in there to boost your DPS, bearing in mind your max damage is limited due to the current boss shields that we have on challenge fights, and you're going to have to do this for 8 days running, so that's how many times you'll need to run through and defeat the boss. Anyway, so let us get on with the actual fight. As you can see, I usually start off with Stone Crusher, but you can of course have Lord of Order buffing as well at the same time before you start the fight, and then you just want to jump in. Now whoever's running Arch, you pretty much have got the most important job in this fight. Not only do you need to make sure you're healing your team, I know Stone Crusher has got a heal, but we'll put that to one side. You'll want to make sure you're rotating through those abilities, especially as Righteous Seal will reduce 70% of the incoming damage your team is going to face for 10 whole seconds, and that will be vital because you're going to want to get through this as quickly as possible. The problem you're going to have is if your Arch gets defeated in the fight, we are of course going to lose our heal and indeed the damage reduction, which means that DOT is going to go through the roof. As I said earlier, I have seen this go above 13k, so it is possible, and I don't know how high that could actually go, but to be honest, as soon as it starts getting to the 3000s, the damage over time is going to be causing you and your team some pretty major problems, especially with classes like Lord of Order being run. However, as we said, if you do have someone who's really confident using the Arch Paladin class, that will be your saving grace throughout this. It's not a particularly tricky class to use, just have to make sure you're stacking up correctly. But as we touched on, the main role for that will be healing your team and of course reducing the damage, because that's the only way you're really going to get around DOT. Now, having said all this, that doesn't mean this is exclusive. There will be other combinations that will work, and there may well be something better, but for the minute guys, I'd recommend just going along with this setup. It will do the job. Like I said, I've run it multiple times now with different team members, so it does 100% work, and it is by far the easiest way I have come across so far. We may indeed find that as time goes on that potentially this is more of a soloer, and as I say, a team of selfish classes such as Void Huddled among others could come into their own, but time will tell, and I will be experimenting over the course of the next few days. This challenge fight should overall be a lot less strenuous for everyone because, as I said, you only have to defeat him 8 times over, well, 8 days. So on that front, it is considerably easier than what we've been having to do with things like the Engineer and Ezra, but I do quite like these challenge fights and hopefully they keep on coming, and we'll get some other mechanics thrown in there as well. So guys, thank you all very much for watching. Make sure you leave a like and of course subscribe, and I'll see you all again incredibly soon.